Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. Wow, it's been a pretty quiet day, but there has been some things that came up in regards to Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, and of course, the Justice League controversy, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Even restored the Snyderverse to a certain extent. But let's get right into it right now. All right, here we go. So the first things first is the Peacemaker. James Gunn is making the Peacemaker on the Peacemaker TV series. Like on every film I've done, I draw every shot before shooting it. Here's me looking over the storyboards last night before we crossed them off one by one, and here you go. So that's definitely, they are blurred. They intentionally blurred out a lot of this stuff. So definitely I think Peacemaker is in here somewhere, but it does show you that he's hard at work on that. The Suicide Squad's done. He's hard at work on the Peacemaker. Speaking of the Suicide Squad, Idris Elba put out on his Instagram stories at the Suicide Squad, at Man on Dave. This is a Superman issue number 4, Bloodsport's first appearance in April 1987, and it has Superman there. The thing about this is that, there was rumored a while back, and I don't know if it's still true or not, that it would be cool to have Superman come in different movies as a cameo or some sort of way, and they were throwing out different movies because they didn't know which one. It could have been The Flash, it could have been Black Adam, it could be Shazam, it could even be the Suicide Squad. I'm like, really? What about, why the Suicide Squad? Well, Starro is in the movie. Bloodshot's first appearance is when he gets captured by Superman. So I'm wondering if we're going to get to see a little bit of that. And it's probably like, it could, you guys will probably like, oh, come on, man. It's probably going to come in, some guy in a red suit, blue suit, red cape comes in, takes him off or something like that. If there is a case like that, I don't know. But it'd be quite something to see Superman as a another headless cameo or something about that. Will Henry Cavill show up? I doubt it. But at least, there'll be a little bit of Superman. If that were the case, I don't know if that would be the case. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next month when we get to watch the Suicide Squad. A little bit more about James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. There's this cool-looking poster that was going around. I think James Gunn also shared it as well. The James and the Gun? Okay. And it presents the Suicide Squad. Or is it James Gunn and the Suicide Squad? I don't know. Suicide Squad America, the world's worst villain team-up. You see Starro right there. All the characters from the movie are in there as well. And so that's a little bit more hyping up. They're trying to hype up the Suicide Squad. All right, so let's get into some controversial stuff. All right, this came from the Mary Sue Today. In the wake of Ray Fisher's treatment, a black Superman feels like a distraction. So it's a pretty big publication putting this out. News had been shared in the internet ecosphere that Warner Brothers intends to give the next Superman film a black lead. And prolific black writer Ta-Nehisi Coates has already been named the screenwriter. The studio is also searching for a black director, according to yet another report on the subject from The Hollywood Reporter. All these things in any other situation would be cause for some excitement. But in the wake of multiple decisions from Warner Brothers, beginning with the allegations Ray Fisher made about mistreatment on the Justice League set, this seems like a performative decision from the company. Right now, according to The Hollywood Reporter, what we know about the situation is that back in February, Warner Bros. Hired author and journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates to write the screenplay for a new Superman movie, with J.J. Abrams producing. While story ideas are up for change, it is being said that this Superman film will not be part of the universe as of now, and that one option under consideration is for the film to be a 20th century period piece. So we could get a civil rights era black Superman. See? Just how I predicted yesterday. In an alternate universe where Ray Fisher hadn't been speaking up about the issues he faced on Warner Brothers, this might be potentially good news. But we live in this timeline, which complicates any intentions the studio might have. Fisher says he and the film's executives disagreed over how to physically and emotionally portray Cyborg, which was reported in a profile piece for The Hollywood Reporter. As my coworker Vivian Kane summarized back in April, Fisher says he heard later about conversation where those executives discussed wanting to avoid having an angry black man at the center of the movie, and in order to avoid the trope, they advised Fisher to play the character less like Frankenstein and more like Quasimodo, complete with a stooped posture that Fisher says he immediately read to be servile. But it doesn't sound like anyone was open to hearing Fisher's point, like that would be his own unacceptable stereotype for a black character. Fisher told Johns it might be one thing for a non-black person to write a character for a comic, but was another for a black actor to portray that character on screen, writes Masters. It was like he was assuming how black people would respond rather than taking the advice from the only black person, as far as I know, with any creative impact on the project, Fisher says. Fisher says, that was the last creative conversation about anything that Geoff Johns and I had. I knew I was on my own. Fisher's role as Cyborg was, without a doubt, a huge part of Zack Snyder's original vision of the film, and it was vivisected into a barely there role in the Justice League cut directed by Joss Whedon. Among the many pieces of information shared in that profile, it was also revealed that Sci-Fi Show Krypton wanted to cast someone untraditional as Superman's grandfather, and had the opportunity to cast Bridgerton star Regé-Jean Page. However, Geoff Johns, who was overseeing the project, said Superman could not have a black grandfather. And now we are allegedly working on a black Superman project? Hypocrite. What also makes these moves seem even more performative is that for quite a while it has been said that DC Warner Bros. Was going to be focusing more on Supergirl, since their recent Superman installments did not reap the rewards expected. Latina actress Sasha Calle was cast to play the Girl of Steel as Kara Zor-El. Ava DuVernay's New Gods film was dropped for seemingly no reason, and rather than actually popular Green Lantern John Stewart, it was announced that Finn Wittrock would be playing Lantern Guy Gardner. As someone who loves DC and has been rooting for Warner Bros. To make the better use of the amazing canon of characters at their disposal, all of this makes me wrench. What this potentially does is pit upcoming black talent against Ray Fisher. Black talent will now have to answer for the sins of a studio when they are trying to succeed in a business that rarely focuses on actively recruiting black talent. I would love a black Superman. I think a Superman of any race rather than white would work well for multiple reasons. Yet the reality is that right now, that course is tainted. It is tainted by all the things that have come before it, and the fact that Ray Fisher still does not have any work in the DC universe despite delivering one of the best performances in its roster in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Best performances. In any other situations, a role like that would lead to spin-offs. But because he is asking for a type of accountability that could potentially lead to job loss, he has been seen as expendable. It reminds me of when Nicole Behari left Sleepy Hollow in what was clearly a screwed up situation, and then she was replaced with another non-black woman of color. I didn't know anything about that. It is distraction, and one that makes it hard for those of us black fans who love DC and want to see them make progressive casting decisions, but also stand with Ray Fisher and asking them to be held accountable for the toxic environment they allowed to fester, an environment that has existed on the big and small screens of DC. So there you have it. See, even like more mainstream is figuring it out. They're finally popping on this and realizing that, look, what they're trying to, like, in any day of the week, like in any any other news and stuff like that, we would have got excited, right? People would have got excited for it, for a black Superman, I think. But them realizing that there's something not right here. There's something definitely not right about this whole situation and about Warner Brothers, and starting to not trust them. But see, Warner Brothers unfortunately holds all the keys and all the cards, though, because they do own the IP. So there's this little video clip that was going around, and it was published today. Although I have, suspicions that this was recorded a lot earlier. But I want you here take a look at this real quick and see what your thoughts on are.
And where would you love to see these characters go next? And are you open to returning to them?
Listen, what I want the characters to do next is like, look, I'm really interested in them thriving. I'm interested in like an amazing Aquaman movie and Wonder Woman 3 and this Flash movie. And I think they should make a Cyborg movie as far as I'm concerned. That makes a lot of sense, especially after seeing this movie. Obviously, Cyborg would be like the next movie because he's just so awesome. But, and, you know, and yes, we have a fully fleshed out universe we could dive into. But, you know, the truth is, you know, Warner Brothers, you know, I don't think they have any real interest in continuing this storyline. And, you know, they are the keepers of the IP and it's up to them. So I'm super happy with the way the movie turned out. And I love these characters and I'm super proud of them. And yeah.
And it's been such a journey. I mean, it's taken a lot to get to this point. And quite honestly, we just finished the movie like a couple weeks ago. So it'll be nice to just enjoy the moment right now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to lose the moment. So many people worked so hard to get here.
Yeah. And also you got some Army of the Dead coming too. So get ready for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
So that was an interview with Zack Snyder and Debbie Snyder. And like I said, she said that we just finished it a couple weeks ago. So I have, you know, strong, you know, I think this was a lot earlier. I'm not sure why it dropped today. But I felt like it was a lot earlier because it has been more than a couple weeks since we've, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League finally premiered. So definitely this could be one of those press junkets that were finally being released today. But the same thing is there. The Warner Brothers is the problem. Warner Brothers is absolutely a problem. If you want to restore the Snyderverse, it's not up to Zack Snyder, right? It's not. It's not ever been up to Zack Snyder, right? In last time's case, the Snyder Cut was, you know, because HBO Max, a new company, came involved. Warner Media came involved. They started making Warner Max, and the HBO Max said yes to the whole Snyder Cut thing. But now the situation has changed because even though there is still an HBO Max firm, they've consolidated a lot of things. So there are a lot of people overseeing it. Warner Brothers is controlling the IP. Warner Brothers is the one to make sure what goes out as a movie. So there's definitely that situation. And as we know now, Warner Brothers is a big problem in more than just creative solutions. There's also, you know, toxic problems over at Warner Brothers as well, right? So, but with that in mind, you know, it is difficult, right? It is a difficult situation for Zack. And I think it really speaks to the stress and the mental health that he would be going through if Warner Brothers did, with the current regime, if Warner Brothers did restore Snyderverse, I think he'd still be going through a lot of that negativity, all through that toxicity and, you know, people looking over his shoulder, telling him what to cut and stuff. I mean, you've seen that. They told him he was not supposed to even put Dark Side in it, but he went ahead and did it anyway. He wasn't supposed to do Green Lantern, so he did Martian Manhunter instead. You know, all those kinds of things. They wanted him to cut it like it's more of a cul-de-sac, like it ends right there. But you know, and we all know it doesn't. He had a vision. He had a grand vision, and he had it all set up. He's telling us now, it's right there. We have it all, right? They have this whole thing. And I want to share with you his grand vision, right? This is coming from DC. There's a site. I'm actually gonna link the actual site in the description below, so that you can go to this site and actually download a PDF. They let you download it, or you can have it where it like flips in the screens. It's really cool. But it's a really awesome thing. It's like a looking through the dreamscapes of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the storyboards of the original Snyderverse. And so it takes you through the introduction of the original Justice League boards. It puts it all together very well. The introduction to Snyder Cut exhibit as well, even some tweets, and it's a really fantastic little publication right here that came out. The early plans for the DC Extended Universe, you know, introduction presenting the original Snyderverse storyboards as well. And you have some a little bit about here. Oh, Dave. Hey, he's got a little screenshot of Dave, Ray Porter, and Zack Snyder there. And some more of the actual exhibit. But the cool part is they actually redid the storyboards for you and put it in color. Put it in color. Justice League's Part 2 and 2A in fantastic color, full resolution for you, so you can go ahead and check it out. It's amazing. Look at this. Justice League 2 got the black suit and everything. Just got the, Lex Luthor, the Legion of Doom, if you will. The nightmare that Wonder Woman kills Superman, things like that. And I think this is Riddler. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's Riddler. That was the Riddler shot. So it's absolutely amazing. The boom tube, Darkseid. It's well put together. It clearly shows Jim Lee's artwork in great high def scale, in color. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I think this is when Lois dies too. So. And at the end of Part 1, it looks fantastic. And I'm going to credit the people in the bottom who actually did this. But this is amazing work. You see Green Lantern and everything. But it clearly, it's an absolutely like a fantastic pitch. A fantastic pitch. It clearly shows you what it could have been. It clearly shows you what it could still be. There is so much potential in this universe that you can clearly see within these artwork, clearly read about it, right? And it is an amazing, completely amazing arc. It's an amazing vision. It's a dream. It's an absolute dream. It's a dream of a nightmare that we never get to see. So, and yeah, editing by Samuel L. Kentman, Ben Zachary, compilation of story by Mr. Jonah, colorization of Mariano Chico. So good job on that. Definitely, I'll link all this in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. You can even download it as well. But it's amazing. It's great work from this team here who put this together. Something for you to keep with you. This treasure. This amazing treasure that tells you what it could have been, what an amazing trilogy that he had planned. Now, this is not exactly the same trilogy that he has actual plans of. This is the original Snyderverse. So the new Snyderverse is going to be different, but what it could have been, and you can kind of gather at least the backbone structure of the whole story. And I take this as so valuable. Because it's not every day you get to see a director when, sometimes movies get chopped. And yeah, maybe years and years from now you get to see it. But original storyboards like this don't ever really come back. You don't ever get to see this. This is something special. This is something amazing. And it clearly shows what we should have got excited for in the DC. Something that we can just have, it's right there. It's just right there. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's epic. And it was thrown away. It was thrown away. But we're not going to let them throw away. We're going to remember it. We have these tools, I would say tools, right? That you can have, that you can share, that you can tell people about and say, hey, all this DC movies come out, that's cool, but look at what we could have gotten. What the excitement level was. Did people watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and say, I wonder what happens next? Well, if we never got it, said, look, this is just the basics of what happens. It's going to be different, but this should tell you what type of level of artistry, what type of level of content that we were supposed to get, that amazing arc that we were supposed to get, that would have excited people, that would have excited fans. It would have been a huge payoff. And there's are people in this industry, and Warner Brothers to be exact, there are keeping people from enjoying this, keeping an artist from showing his work, keeping a vision away, locked tight, not because it wasn't a success, it's because it was a success, but it made them look bad. It's because of their ego. They're tone deaf and dumb because somebody else made something better than they did. And instead of capitalizing on that, they'd rather throw it away. So for right now, I'm actually happy Zack is doing his own thing. He's making his own original sci-fi projects. Maybe he's going to do that Western Blood Meridian. Maybe he's going to do another, he's going to do Horse Latitudes. He's got Army of the Dead. He's got so many stuff, creative things that he wants to put out to the world, wants to tell people about, wants to show people. And I think I'm happy that he's doing that right now. Because there is no way right now with certain people within Warner Brothers that are keeping the Snyderverse from being restored. With them in office, there is no way we can restore the Snyderverse at this moment in time. There is no way. But that doesn't mean there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Because if all goes well, and not like I want people to lose jobs or anything, at least retire, give them a great paycheck, move them out, get some people out of there. You know who I'm talking about. Get some people out of there. Once, maybe, just maybe, once these certain conditions are applied, then maybe there's a chance to get that Snyderverse restored. And if it's only 18 months from now, or even 2023, that's about 18 months, I think, yeah. So it's like, even if it's then, at least that'd still be shorter than how long we've waited for the Snyder Cut to come out. All right? So there's still hope. We got the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut came out. It clearly showed what happened. It showed more. It showed more than just the level of the lies that they told us about how they were going to keep to his vision and everything, but also the lies, the toxicity, all the controversy that came from the reshoots. It exposed them, and that was what they were trying to keep hidden. But now it's out. Now it's out. Am I saying to not say restore the Snyderverse? No. Keep going. Keep pushing that envelope. Keep doing it. Keep preaching. And I am, because it's not going to go away. We keep the pressure on. But at this moment in time, like, decisions like this are not going to be like that until certain conditions apply and some people around. But it doesn't mean we're going to let them forget about it, are we? We're not going to let them forget about it. Well, oh, hell no. There's all these DC movies coming out. But I can guarantee you right now, from what I'm seeing, it's not to the level of excitement and epicness of what he had in mind in his gigantic arc right here. The Snyderverse. The Snyderverse. It is way bigger. It is way much more bigger, and something that even the most casual fan would look at this and says, why didn't we get that? That's totally DC. This is like it's straight out of a freaking comic book. What was wrong with this? What was wrong with Superman taking on Darkseid? What was wrong with that? Why didn't we get this? I don't know. But like I said, for right now, let Zack do his own thing. We'll keep reminding. We'll keep doing Restore the Snyderverse, definitely. But we're also excited for what Zack has for us. All the projects that he has in mind for us, because it's going to be amazing. And, we'll leave it off with Army of the Dead. Apparently there's some Army of the Dead news coming tomorrow. I don't know what it is. Just a little clip of showing the vault underground. So there's a little bit of that. I don't know what type of news is it. Are we going to have some sequels? Are we going to more expanded stuff? Are we going to have a whole thing about Army of the Dead? Are they, I don't know. I'm not sure. But it is exciting. And it's great to see a studio like Netflix actually very much all in supporting Zack Snyder, supporting his work, and definitely supporting all other directors' visions as well. It's incredible to see that level of just faith in the director And I think more and more directors, and it's before Zack Snyder, but they've jumped on. They're like, I like these guys. I really like these guys. So, but they're doing movies now, so they're gonna put it out in the movie theaters. I bought a ticket already. I'm getting to see Army of the Dead on May 14th in theaters. My first time back in theaters is going to be Army of the Dead. That's cool. That's amazing. I can't wait for that. And I hope you guys are all excited as well. So let's see what dreams may come for Zack Snyder and crew, and all the incredible projects that he has lined up as well. But keep knocking on that door, keep knocking on that door until some people leave. All right, well, let's get into the members' comments and questions now. Bull of Indomie. Hire Toby to be Zack's errand boy at Netflix. I know, right? Hey, Zack, you hungry, man? I got some hot dogs over there. And then he brings over the hot dogs, and I got some sandwiches too. Here's some sandwiches. I'm like, Toby, I said no cheese. What the hell, man? I said no. Get me something. I want all meat. No cheese, man. I'm sorry, Zack. But then we still have protege Hamada Berger and Anne Kathleen Sarnoff. Kathleen. Oh, Kathleen. Okay, Kathleen, I get it. Brent T. Wilson, I'd put money on the whole 20th century period piece thing being an exec's idea. Well, they love Wonder Woman. Let's do that again, but with a black Superman. That's the problem, though. They didn't love Wonder Woman. Oh, Wonder Woman 1, yeah, but they didn't love Wonder Woman in 1984. So, but I think it's going to be exactly what Mary Sue said, civil rights era piece. I probably put a lot of my chips in that idea. I think that's what is going to happen. What you were saying about the 1940s type of story is on point. I didn't think of it that way. I guess just being a fan of the comics and knowing what incredible stories are out there, I just don't want them going backwards. But how you described it could be interesting for sure. Yeah, I mean, this is I know we're all harping on Warner Bros. And absolutely, they're threw that out. But if it's truly J.J. Abrams' idea and him coming off of Lovecraft Country, I feel like he still wants to play in that era. It's like, okay, we've played horror and supernatural in a civil rights era. What if we threw in superheroes? He seems the type to think of it that way. On Toby M, using Netflix as a bartering tool, Netflix says, hell no! So no bartering of Toby. However, there's plenty of tool. He could introduce the Mikata, full of empty calories. Oh, you guys are funny, man. Mikata. Is Red Sonja part of the Conan universe? Also, there was supposed to be a new movie called King Conan, and it was going to be Halloween the series, as in being direct sequel to the original film. Not sure if it's still happening or not. RoboCop Returns was supposed to happen as well, and Halloween the franchise as well. There seems to be a lot of movies that's supposed to happen, but we don't know where it is, and I don't even know. Oh, shoot. There he goes again. All the time. Okay, there you go. Sorry. I don't know if Sonya is going to be... In the article, it did not even indicate if it's going to be anything. They didn't even say anything about Conan whatsoever. So, your guess is as good as mine, but... I hope someone convinces Zack Snyder for a Justice League watch-along party. Also, someone please make sure he's playing drunk before and afterwards. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do that. I mean, he's taking the word of Christopher Nolan, and his wife says, don't ever... Christopher Nolan is like, don't... Promise me, Debbie, that Zack will never watch this movie. And she's like, I promise. It would be funny if J.J. Supes was the one that in that open pod in the Man of Steel, especially in his name is in Kal-El. Whoa, I didn't think about that, but it's a period piece, so it's before the 2000s, and the year of Man of Steel is 2013, so it's definitely not that year. Snyderverse Wonder Woman is from the first movie. Hamburgerverse is from Wonder Woman 1984. If its own thing, then I'm beginning to like that Black Superman project. It could be something powerful if it is set in the 40s or 60s. There's a lot of conversation that could be had with that when I was thinking about it. I'm like, that could be intriguing. But it's just the way they put out that article on Henry Cavill's birthday is just really, and I think they dropped it right before they knew that Kim Masters was going to drop that Toby Emmerich article, so they were like, we got to get that out there first. But it backfired, people caught up. Mary Sue was like, we should be excited, but I'm like, not so much now. You're just bringing up issues in your own company. So it kind of backfired. I'm certainly game for a new Dracula film. With the Universal Dark Universe completely ejected, it's nice to see something resembling an alternative. Bautista noting how he's wanted to work with Zack for a while reminds me of something. Talking with Justin Midside way back, he noted how Bautista would be perfect for a role in The Fountainhead. Mike the Contractor becomes one of Howard Rourke's key friends and associates. That's right. He still has that Fountainhead thing that's on a back burner right now. Someone pointing out in the previous Q&A that the woman holding the retractable lightsaber looks like Daisy Ridley makes me think even more about Zack doing Star Wars, if they let him do his thing. Imagine Zack doing a film centered on Rey. It'll be awesome with a nice fresh perspective on the character, and quite a few fans would have to agree that a fresh take is absolutely necessary for Rey. On the other hand, it might trigger some people. Zack Snyder taking on the sequel trilogy main heroine. Frankly, that kind of makes me want it even more. Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool, but honestly, Zack, if Zack was to do Star Wars, he'd probably, new characters. That way there's less baggage. I'm dying. You remind me so much of the manager from Office Space with that voice he did as Warner Brothers politely firing Toby. Yes, in MK versus DCU, they had brutalities instead of fatalities. Still an awesome game, though. It was. Especially how they clearly modeled Superman off of Christopher Reeve. I guess what they did, yeah. Like really, can you just imagine those Superman ripping someone's spine out? Yeah, I know. Like if they do Injustice, maybe there are certain ways that you could definitely just do very rated R stuff out of that. But I don't know. I think the license restricts them. I think what I've heard back then was like the license restricts them from having these characters die that way. Like. I don't know. Yeah, so it's weird. Imagine this Chris Superman lands in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's found by a white gentleman who thought this baby's here for a reason. He takes the babies to his neighbor and black couple who has recently lost a kid. A few years later, his family is teaching him the struggle of being a black man in America and how he's the hero. Later falling in love with a white girl, he causes a fight one day. He had been Superman. The bullet bounces off of him. It causes the KKK to go mad because they now fear him and go to destroy the Black Wall Street community, which the armed joins in attacking the city. Superman begins saving, but hits a boom that a plane was carrying, destroying the city more. From this day, he understands that the world needs a Superman to calm the racial tension. Theory 1. It'll be also interesting, like, in order to take it further in that conversation, would that he be, it'll be a white parents, right? White Jonathan, Kent, and Martha, if this is, right? And they bring in, they adopt a black baby. So that also adds to the conversation, and that makes it interesting as well. But it could be like, black family, Kent family, and then, Lois Lane is white. That could work. There's a lot of conversations a lot of different things that they can work in with that. But yeah. Want to know the difference between us Snyder fam and Warner Brothers execs? The execs eventually depart. And we are still right here. This train never stops. I love that attitude, man. What about those Zack Snyder's Justice League numbers from China that put a little pep in my step yesterday? I find it most messed up news they dropped on Henry Cavill's birthday about the Black Superman movie. Don't get me wrong, I'm mixed race, but as I said on Twitter, optics-wise, how it looks, it's overall better to just wait until Henry is done with the role, even as Elseworld. I mean, I remember that Walmart exclusive ticket I got for Man of Steel back in 2013, and it was the start of a beautiful universe that's not over yet by a long shot. And I don't think Henry Cavill's over yet. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, contractually he has one more on his plate. So what he's going to do with it, I don't know. And I think I just feel like they're still bartering. I feel like they're so. In the meantime, when they're doing that, obviously, DC, the IP needs more Superman content out there. I think there is a certain, like, they're always needing to have these characters out there. So in the meantime, when they're going through this contracts and things like that, negotiation to re-up and whatever, or what to do next, just like Joker, let's throw a DC Black Label Joker. So we'll have another Black Label, and refers to, like, it's out of the universe. So let's have a Superman that's out of the universe, like Matt Reeves' Batman is out of the universe. Let's just do these little things so that we have that brand out there, a brand out there, other than Superman and Lois. But I don't know how long Superman's Lois is going to last, but just have another Superman movie out there. And I think that's partially the reason why they're able to say, hey, it can't be out of the universe, because we still need that, while in the meantime we're figuring out what to do with all these other characters, the ones that from the current DCEU per se. So, because obviously I think Garcia's is not going to let them not have Henry Cavill. I think they're really playing it for keeps, and they really want Henry Cavill back. Absolutely, of course. Yeah, they wouldn't be doing their job if they're going to let that go, right? So they're absolutely going to make that happen. And so, hey, guess what? What? Black Adam is super powerful and strong, and box office does good. People love Black Adam. Yeah, hierarchy of power will kind of change, where there can maybe come in, and Dwayne's like, I'm going to fight Henry Cavill Superman. You better give him the money, give us the money, to make that Black Adam versus Superman movie. Let's do it, because, hey, guess what? My movie was big. So imagine Black Adam did $1 billion, like James Wan, Aquaman, stuff like that. Well, now $7 Productions got the capital, not only got the capital, but they also got the clout, the clout, man, to get their own universe jump started and do their own thing. So, hey, it could happen. Could happen multiple ways. Could happen for these characters to continue. And in the meantime, while we continue to push for restore the Snyderverse. All right, well, that is it. That is it for today. I can't wait to see what Army of the Dead news is coming out tomorrow, and I can't wait to see it next week. So, well, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.